I'm Adventure Man Ron Spellman. Thanks for joining me as I fill my everyday life with adventure and show you how to do it too. Today I'm going to review some products from a company called Madera Outdoor. Mostly they make hammocks, like this one, but they also make sleeping bags and other camping gear. I've been trying out some of their stuff for the past few weeks and I gotta say, I really love it. In fact, I've decided to partner with the company, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. But for now, grab your gear, lace up your boots, and let's go on an adventure. Madera Outdoor has only been in business a couple of years, and not a lot of people know about them yet. I've found them through their ads on Instagram. When I checked out their website, I was intrigued by their claim that they plant 2 trees for every sale. One of their slogans is, "Hammocks need trees." It turns out that they partner with treesforthefuture.org, a well-established nonprofit that helps farmers in Africa to establish tree farms. I thought that was pretty cool. So far, Madera has contributed to the planting of more than 60,000 trees. I like the idea of the company, and I've always liked the idea of hammock camping, but never tried it. I decided to give it a shot and found that it's pretty intuitive, but it did take some practice. So in case you want to try it, I'll make it easy, save you some headaches, and break it down for you here. When you're picking a place to hang your hammock, obviously it's important to be safe. You got to pick some trees that are still alive, that aren't dead and going to fall over on you in the middle of the night, and also to make sure that they don't have any dead branches way up high, and no nests for animals. So I'm going to pick this tree and that one right there, about 10-12 feet apart, which is just about perfect. Alright, I'm sure there's a lot of ways of doing this, but I found that the best way for me is to start with my rain fly, put that up first, then to get the straps kind of set, and then to put the hammock itself up. The rain fly, or hammock tarp, is pretty easy to set up. First, you tie off some lines to these, to the corners of the tarp. You want to make sure to have the tarp high enough so that you can see out the edges when you're sitting in the hammock underneath it. I like these heavy-duty hammock straps. They work really well. They have different loops, so you can adjust for different lengths and adjust as needed. They're durable as all get out. Now a lot of people just use the regular ropes or lines that come with the tarp, and those seem to work pretty well. I've heard of other systems that different companies make, but from Madera Outdoors, I do like their heavy-duty hammock straps. Get them on sale. They'll try to upsell you after you make your purchase of a hammock. They'll try to upsell you these for like $8. They're totally worth it. The trick with adjusting the hammock straps is that you want them to both be about level in height on either side, so that one end of the hammock isn't higher than the other. Otherwise, you slide all the way down in the middle of the night. Also, you want it to be more or less, you want the hammock to be centered, equidistant from both trees. That way it doesn't put more stress on one end or the other. One of the things I like about Madera's hammocks, I think a lot of hammocks do this, but these guys do, and I definitely like it, is they have an attached pouch. So you just wad the whole hammock up and jam it into the pouch. It's self-contained. It's really cool. So it just clips onto the hammock straps, carabiner. Not all the hammocks come with them, so make sure that you have good carabiners for it, or that they do come with the hammock. When it's done hanging, it should be more or less about chair height. So by the time you lay down in it, you'll only be 2.5 feet off the ground. That's perfect. One of the things you have to think about when you're camping, whether it's in a tent on the ground or even in a hammock, is making sure you're warm all night long. If you don't have some kind of insulation underneath you, either the ground will pull the heat out of you by conduction, or the air underneath the hammock will pull it out of you with convection. So I use my really nice insulated Thermarest sleeping pad. It's inflatable, so it packs down real tight. It's got kind of like foam, closed cell foam in it, but you can squish it down and roll it up. When you're ready for it, that takes about a dozen breaths. But you'll see in a minute, it gets nice and comfy real quick. And just like that, I got a cozy little nest for the night. As long as no bears mistake me for an enchilada. Otherwise, home sweet home. Tarp works pretty good, keeping me nice and dry. Still raining, and another great thing I like about using this tarp, not only does it cover me in my hammock, but I can cook on my stove and still be covered. Can't do that in the tent. I mentioned earlier that I've entered into a partnership with Madera. And the way that works is I have a link that I'll put in the description after this video. If you click on that link, it'll take you to Madera and you can go shopping on their website. If you use that link, I'll actually get a portion of the sale. So not only will you be supporting the planting of trees, but you'll also be supporting Adventure Man USA. Super cool. And in all seriousness, I appreciate it. It'll help me do a lot more with the channel. And in any case, whether you use my link or not, they have really great products, and I highly encourage you to check them out and take them on your next adventure. I'm also going to put this code right here, also in the description. If you use that promo code, you will get 20% off. So their prices are okay. Make sure you use a discount whenever you can. That brings the prices down well into the reasonable range. And if you're not interested in hammocks or camping, that's alright. You can still support my channel by subscribing. Just click that notification bell and you'll know right away whenever I post my next adventure. And in any case, I really appreciate you checking out my videos. If you have any questions about hammock camping, leave me a comment. Or if you have any experience with hammocks or with Madera in particular, I'd love to hear it, for good or bad. I'm Adventure Man, Ron Spellman. So long for now.